Hello, Luke. We're recording.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and anyone with a sense of humour so sharp you cut through steel, welcome to episode 11 of Seasoned Humour, the podcast that's been seasoning your funny bone for the last 11 episodes. If you've ever wondered how wrestling, bad feet, saving dogs' balls, the vast expanse of the universe, curry pies, bowling lanes, and the art of not shitting your pants, and precision cork targeting skills required in clubs all fit together, well, you're in for a wild ride. In this delightful audio circus, we've taken laughter and seasoned it with a dash of the absurd, a sprinkle of the surreal, and a pinch of pure comedy magic. Myself and Pete explore the quirkiest, most unexpected, and downright hilarious facts of life, with each episode offering a fresh serving of the righteous antidotes of witty observations we come across. So fasten your seatbelts and prepare to journey through a world of humour that's more seasoned than a 5-star chef's spice rack. Over to you, Pete.
Thanks, mate. That's a good intro. I like that intro. That's a good one. That's a very good intro. The editing is really good, and you got more words than a dictionary that sometimes come out of there. I really like it. It's impressive. They've got better and better every week.
All of the intros is really funny because all the intros, literally, I get home from work, and I know we do this at like a set time, and I get home, have a shower, spend like half an hour doing that, chill out for half an hour, and then we do it.
It's pretty good.
So they're all off the cuff, so it's just, I don't know if it's luck or what.
It's pretty good. I had someone one of the lads the other week that follows my community. He said he didn't realise I did the podcast. I said I've advertised it many a times, and he went the intro's hilarious. I love it. So there you go.
I think it makes it our thing now though as well, because there's like you hear other podcasts and they like do the same thing or there's an advert, but it's kind of like it's my 30 seconds of fame that you let me do as well. But like
I don't take that.
It's funny when I saw your eyes roll and it said crap in your pants in there. But it says, I noticed on our on Spotify it says explicit on all of the episodes anyway. I think it just tags it in there because like it's obviously not for kids or whatever, so
yeah, well,
maybe it just does that. So
generally every week there's always a swear or two, isn't there? In the
it's nothing bad, but it's just it's just chin chat.
There's a bit of swearing, and sometimes it could be what we don't want to do is not tag it as explicit, and then have it tagged as explicit, and then someone says that we're talking about that, and it's not even marked as explicit. And my child listens to this in the car on the way to school.
Then we'll be in trouble.
You imagine it getting the first ever email we receive. It's a mum moaning at us because we had this really funny gorilla as the artwork, and it looks really child friendly. And then we're talking about all the stuff we've spoke about. Dog's balls, and crap in pants and stuff like that.
But then, or there's a podcast police. A knock on the door. Podcast police.
So it'd be quite amusing, but that's good. I like that one. That was a good intro. I enjoyed that. It was very funny. So how's your week been?
Well, I know I was briefly talking to you yesterday, and I said I got something funny to tell you, and you went, I'll save it. So this is what happens. I'm downstairs watching TV. I hear a scream from Amy. I don't know what's going on. So I pop my head up. What's happening? She said, the dog, and this is like a 1-year-old sausage dog, not very big, been dry humping in its sleep on the bed. Then his lipstick came out. And the juice that you would expect came out.
No.
All over the bed. He's having a whale of a time. You have to change all the bed sheets. Take it to the dry cleaners because it doesn't fit in the washing machine, does it? So you have to wash the duvet.
What was the like? Is he just because of his age, or
I just think he's randy.
What was happening to cause that? Was he just generally laying on the bed having a great time?
I just think he was asleep. He was having a wet dream.
Oh,
So he was
bless
just
him.
he was just on the bed having a whale of a time, and then woke up. But the funny thing is, and this is the funny side of it, is because like Amy loves that dog, and he is quite cute looking. But now I think it's like scarred her because now he's like the seedy little pervert. You can't look at him in the same way. When he wags his tail now, you just know like he's thinking dirty thoughts.
You just don't look at me like that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I love it. Oh, bless him. That is one of the that is the best thing about dogs though. Like we when we got Albert, and I was talking about it last week when we was talking about him last week, that I was reading up about the dog's balls and all that. And
we gone straight into it.
Yeah, we've gone straight into it this week. But I was reading about it, and I actually come across the fact that they do like where they lick themselves and stuff. It stimulates them, and I didn't realise they did that. I didn't realise that male dogs did that. So they do technically masturbate.
Oh, he was doing that the day before.
Yeah, so they do technically masturbate. That's what they do, and I didn't realise that. I read about it, and so when you lot go out, he probably gets on the sofa.
Why do you why did you read about that?
Well, because I was
more than the train.
Oh no, I was reading about that's my daily reading. I was reading it. I was reading about it because I wanted to understand how it affected the dogs. So, and what obviously we was worried because we didn't want Bella to get pregnant and all that sort of stuff. And it actually just came up under the search stuff, like the comments, which I thought was quite amusing. And but I've never seen it. I do watch him sometimes and think, you dirty little boy. Like, I know what you're up to, but it's not actually doing that. It's just a dog being a dog and licking themselves and licking their feet and doing everything they do as dogs. So it's a bit but yeah, they're
we still love them.
I like, mate. Do you know what? I said it last week and I say it again. I would not swap him for the world or Bella, for the world. They are the funniest dogs, and they are absolutely hilarious that they do that. They do that. It's mad though, because like when your partner screams in the house, and you're like, and you quickly jump up, didn't you? You jump up and you dart up. And you're like, what's up? What's going on? What's going on? And I've heard Key like scream sometimes, and she'll be shouting at the dogs or the kids or something, and you're like, and it's that screaming it of like, what's happening? And you quickly jump up and do it, and it's just yeah, they are it's the initial. Have you ever had anything? Does Amy ever do jump scares on you, like hide somewhere and then jump out on you, or anything like that?
No, but the worst thing I had for that was like, well, this time of year really, we went to Halloween to like a local manor house thing. There was like a thing going on there, and at the end of it, I think it was me, Amy, my mum and dad, and we were walking around this. It was like a ghost tour sort of thing, and at the end of it, you're walking out, just going back to your car, and all of a sudden there was this guy at the end of the path, and he had this massive chainsaw, and he was like revving it, running towards you. And I was thinking, like, holy moly! Like I thought this is the end, but it had no chain on it, which you don't know. You don't know. It could have been some nutter though. You know, you don't know these days, do you? You don't. And he came running after us, and I thought, oh, this is bad. That was scary. But did you hear my phone then? My phone went off then a second ago.
No, I didn't.
But it was the it makes me laugh because it was the the Flash Gordon thing. There's this guy I work with, right? He's absolutely mahoosive. He's a boxer, and he's pretty good because he just fought in Wales and Cardiff in the matchroom boxing for Eddie Hearn.
Yeah.
And if you Google him, Miles Gordon Darby, his name is, but his nickname for boxing is Flash. So on my phone, because I'm such a div, I saved a picture of him, and he's got like the hood up for his boxing gear, and he looks like quite mean. And then I got like lightning bolts, and when he rings me, it goes dud flush. And it's pretty funny. I thought it was funny anyway.
He's giving him free promotion. When's his next fight?
I don't know. He's meant to fight, and then it got cancelled. But he's an absolute unit of a bloke. And then like in work, I was like, laughing and joking, and you play fighting and stuff. And he like was throwing like air jabs or whatever, and I like walked and like he skimmed my nose, and I thought, oh no, I'm just gonna be picking my teeth up if he catches me. Yeah.
Is he like a heavyweight division or something like that? Is he or?
Yeah. I watched his last fight on YouTube, and when they punch though, like it's so they reckon, don't they, with Mike, not Mike Tyson. What's that guy who's fighting Tyson Fury now? He's like a cage fighter. I can't remember his name. Anyway, they reckon being hit by him is like being hit softly with a sledgehammer. That's pretty bad.
That's quite hard.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I mean, as a boxer, it always amazed me that they are the condition of them, and that they, when they're sparring and stuff, and they get hit in the chest, and you watch when they get hit in the chest, and these guys are absolute solid, aren't they? There are a lot of them. They've not got a lot of flab on them, have they? Some of them, the more heavier weight have.
You said then, as a boxer, are you saying that from your boxing career, or
no, I'm not. No, I mean, as a like that, I didn't mean it like that, but they're so ripped, and then when you see them punch, and then they hit the chest, and sometimes it takes the wind out of them, and sometimes it doesn't, depending on the nature of the boxer. But
Fury's a bit. I don't want to like diss him or anything, because I'm a massive Tyson Fury fan. But like, he carries a bit more weight about him.
And that's what I'm saying. But like, you see him get punched, but under that exterior body, and he's probably got small amounts of fat on him, but under the exterior shell, if you like, and you see him get punched. And sometimes it's like they're punching a brick wall, isn't it? And they hit them, and their fist just stops, dead on the body, where they're that solid. That's what I was trying to get at, is that some of these guys are so solid, and you see these punches, and they don't move sometimes, and you think, like, if that was me or you, we'd probably go flying. Like it would be just, you'd be like, Jesus, like, oh.
If you had to put boxing, UFC, and WWE in your 1, 2, 3, what order did you put it in?
Probably would place boxing at number 1, because I don't mind watching a bit of boxing from time to time. Wrestling at number 2, but then I don't watch wrestling at all now. That's probably based more on my childhood love of wrestling than anything.
What do you do in your spare time if you don't watch the wrestling? What else is there to do?
I don't watch it. I watch a lot of Family Guy now. That's what I do. Family Guy and Simpsons.
Family Guy. do you watch the UFC?
I don't. That's what I was going to say. That so number 3.
If it's like a big fight. Not even if it's a big fight.
No, because I don't know any of the people. I don't know any of the people. I admire people that do UFC, like the guys that fight in UFC, but it's not. I look at it and think, wow, it's just like a brawl. Sometimes it's like a no holes barred brawl at times. That I don't necessarily agree with the fact that you can knee somebody in the head and that be okay.
Well, well, but it's kind of like the amphitheater mentality, isn't it? It's like Gladiator.
Yeah,
watching
I get it. I understand it, and I understand it's a mixture of martial arts, so kickboxing and all that stuff. But I've obviously across the course of years, I've seen some really, really serious like knockouts, and I think, wow, like that is.
Is that the guy from the train?
Yeah, and I think, and it's from like a kick or a knee to the head. And I think, geez, like your knee, you think how solid your knee is, and that connecting with someone's face.
Or an elbow.
Or an elbow, yeah, an elbow is exactly the same.
Very bad.
And I just think they're nuts. Like, what would make you as a person want to do UFC? And I know people like judo, and I know people like karate and all that sort of stuff. And there's a mixture of all that in.
But they're striving, aren't they, to be the ultimate fighter, aren't they? That's what it is. It's the bug, the adrenaline, isn't it? They want it. If you're that good at fighting, you want to be the man, don't you? You want to be number one. You want to be the one guy that everyone thinks, I can't beat that guy. And that's. But I think it's so important with because the only thing is you could have the best fighter in the world, absolute best fighter, but if they're not entertaining, nobody wants to watch them.
This is that's what I was going to kind of say. So you could sort of say that, similar to football, you've got to be in the right place at the right time to be scouted as a football player. As a boxer, you've probably got to be in the right place at the right time to be scouted as and you're not always going to get that, but there's always in life, there is always someone out there that is better than you are, like in all forms of life.
What about Messi? Well, that's a freak of nature then.
Well, yeah, but do you know what I mean? But what I was going to say, what I was trying to get at is that there could be someone out there better than Messi, but has never ever been picked up as a football player. Do you know what I mean? So,
imagine that.
So, and there are people out there that are great players, but because they've never been put on that platform. The same with probably boxing. Who's to say that Tyson Fury or even Conor McGregor, for example, is actually the best fighter in the world? Well, there could be someone else out there that is fighting in backstreet clubs that is proper solid, but because he's never had that opportunity to get into the ring, you would never know if he was going to be number one. Do you know what I mean?
Imagine all the rock stars, pop stars, boxers, footballers. There must be a football stadium full of those people as well.
Yeah,
they're called the undiscovered.
Yeah, the undiscovered. Like, and you get that. And I think there's no matter human nature, there is always someone out there stronger than you are. There is always someone bigger. There's always someone better. But sometimes then people are not discovered. That in my head. There is someone out there better than Messi. There's someone out there better than Ronaldo, but they've never been discovered. And unfortunately, because they're not in the limelight, there could be you could take
we're talking about sport as well. So like, imagine put what you're saying into like Elon Musk.
Yeah,
what if someone's better than him?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Someone out there could be cleverer than Elon Musk, but they've not had the luck to do or the backing at some point. You think of all the people that go into banks and say, I want a business loan to do X, and they think it's a good idea. And the bank manager goes, no, don't think it'll ever work. How does that bank manager know? How does that bank manager know that is not going to work? And the public are not going to go and buy that item or invest in that whatever that business. How does that bank manager know?
That has stumped me a little bit. I kind of get the bank manager one though. Like, I suppose he must have like a formula for it. It must be.
It could be, and I think it's a good discussion point, because in my head, I always believe that. Yeah, you're going to be number one. You could be Usain Bolt, for example, number one in the world for running, right?
Well, but is he? Because Dave's down the pub might be better. But we just don't know.
Exactly. Who's to say that someone else that there could be you see some of these shoplifters running from the old bill, like who's to say?
That makes sense. We're talking about it's just all the undiscovered criminals.
Who's to say Dave round the corner that shoplifts from Boots the perfume to sell down the pub? He's not faster than Usain Bolt over 200 meters.
I think we're on to something here. Because like it could be put into so many different things, couldn't it?
It could be put into anything, any walks of life.
Yeah.
Do you know? But it's the
I
same.
don't know. You're probably like, my cogs have stopped turning.
but it's the same with like motor racing. You look at Formula One, right? I said before, I love Formula One. I think Formula One is a great, in my opinion, is a great sport. It's a difficult one to justify as a sport sometimes. However, how do you know that Lewis Hamilton or Michael Schumacher are the best drivers in the world, and there's not a guy that is sitting out there who can't afford to get a go-kart, who can't afford to get into Formula One because he hasn't got the financial backing to get into the sport?
Yeah, but there is that with football. You're gonna have it's a leather bag with air in it, isn't it? So everyone's going to be able to get a football within reason.
Yeah,
but like that is kind of it with Formula One. Not everyone's going to have like however many thousands of pounds to
invest in their child.
Buy a go-kart, you got to maintain it.
Yeah,
you got to turn up to the places. You got to get it there.
Yeah,
but that must be like thousands of pounds.
Well, this is what I'm saying, and I get
really just for rich kids, I'm guessing.
And I guess, and you're right. Like for football, anyone can go and buy football, but then there could be a kid out there, a great footballer, but his parents can't afford to put him in a team, can't afford to drive him to every single game, can't afford to get him everywhere that he needs to be, so he doesn't play every week. And
that's why it's cool when the ones that don't have the opportunities get through, because there are people who don't, and they do get through, don't they?
I don't know why, right? And I'm just putting this out there, and I know this has been a bit sportified this week, but it's my general thought. I don't know why football teams don't on every year say, right, the first 1,000 people can turn up to training on a given day, on a given week, and we will whittle you down to the best 11. And you might find and it's an age group, and it gives every single person a chance to go and prove that.
That's not you're not going to do that in like a session of like 1,000 people.
No, I'm not. That's what I said. Over the course of a week, like you could say that, right, what we want to do, like Tottenham Hotspur or Millwall, or whoever it might be, could go. Manchester United could say, right, we're going to open our doors to the first 1,000 people, just for example, and we want you to come down to, the training ground, and we want you to, we're going to give you an opportunity to come and train at the facilities. We're going to watch you all, and we're going
to anybody now.
Yeah, well, like within an age group.
You have all the nutters turning up on you with their Tesco bags, like
but what I'm saying, within an age group.
40-year-old dads.
So if you said like between look at like an Ian Wright story, for example. Ian Wright went to come to Millwall, for example. Millwall didn't want him, let him go. He went to Crystal Palace and become a superstar. And there's more to his story than that, I know. But he didn't make it into professional football till he was a lot older. Who's to say there's not a few 20, 25-year-olds out there that are great players, but because they're 20, 25 and they play in a Sunday league now, they're never going to get looked at, are they?
But I think it matters where you are, though, as well, doesn't it? Because, like, the Jay-Z, the rapper guy, and he's like a multi-billionaire, isn't he?
Yeah.
Married to Beyonce. Would he have been that multi-billionaire married to Beyonce if he lived in Tooting?
But you're right. Yeah, you're 100% right.
I'm not trying to be a knob saying that, but like, he was in New York, wasn't he? So like, that's like the height of place to be. Like, you're gonna get noticed as opportunities. Like, if you are someone with some sort of character, you're gonna get somewhere there, aren't you? And like, the point I'm making is I don't think some people in certain places would get opportunities that they would get in other places.
And I do agree with you. I do agree that there is that's why in my head I think that football clubs are missing. Football clubs, just as an example, are missing a trick. and rugby clubs and all them people. They moan about a shortage of players in certain sports, in professional sports. Well, why not give these people opportunities? Look at tennis. Tennis is a rich man's sport, in my opinion. You never get a old Larry round the corner playing tennis. Like, it's always a well-spoken. You never get some Cockney bloke, do you, rock up in Wimbledon and he's playing tennis again.
Yeah, Beckham there. He's from Essex, isn't he?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's again. I don't know. It's a whole, in my head. It's a whole world of, there's possibilities out there that these people could give people opportunities, and whether you just said it's the first 100 people to sign up for it, and then give them an opportunity, let them come. You know what I mean?
I'd love to go to Wimbledon.
I've never been there myself, to be honest with you. I
think it's like a tick box. I like to do that.
Was go and watch the tennis?
Yeah, I want to rock up in I want to buy like a tweed suit and rock up and drink some tea and have a crumpet.
Drink some Pims. It's Pims, isn't it?
Yeah,
don't they drink Pims?
I don't know.
Strawberries and Pims or something like that.
Yeah, you can't turn up I don't think you can turn up in a Nike Tech fleece. I don't think they'd have any of that, would they?
Oh, it's one of the things that I've always thought it could be a good day out, but it just looks, it's in such a horrible part of London to get to. It's just a bit of and then people are queuing up for hours.
There's some nice places in Wimbledon, though, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm not saying there's not. I mean, there is some, but there is some very not horrible places, but just it's generally a
not as nice.
difficult part of London to get to. That's all I'm going to say. And there's lots of wombles around there as well.
Oh, I remember the wombles.
The wombles of Wimbledon.
What's his name? Uncle Bulgaria, wasn't it?
Uncle Bulgaria.
He can remember the days when he wasn't behind the times.
Speaking of like childhood TV shows, I've never asked you this before. What was your all-time go-to as a child, like a TV show?
Oh, there's so many. We touched on this before, didn't we? Because we talked about a nightmare program. But like, I had a couple, but my favorite cartoon, like as a kid.
Yeah, your favorite cartoon.
DuckTales.
That's really weird. I was thinking there's two that I would pick. One of them being DuckTales, and the other one was Popeye. I used to love. I loved Popeye. I used to love Popeye. But you know, one cartoon that used to makes me giggle, and it still makes me giggle today. Johnny Bravo.
I never really got into that. I don't know if I missed the trick. Like, it's certain things like around that sort of time I never really got into, and Johnny Bravo was one of them. My favorite cartoon character of all time, I absolutely love, is Marvin the Martian.
Marvin the Martian. Yeah,
I love Marvin the Martian.
I used to love, when I was a kid, Lakeside Shopping Centre in Thurrock used to have a Warner Brothers shop. And in that Warner Brothers shop, do you remember the old Disney shops? They used to have like a big teddy bear pit in the Disney shops. I don't know if you ever had a Disney shop around by you.
Yeah, had them in Cardiff before, yeah.
And they had a big there used to be a massive Warner Brothers shop. It actually turned into a Primark. And
Disney to Primark.
Primark bought it out, and in there they used to have all the teddy bears, and that was one of them. And I always
Marvin.
Yeah, that was one of them. I always wanted my mum and dad to buy me one. It's I'm
gonna take over the universe.
You sound like him as well.
Yeah. Mate, I can't do it because I can't do it when I'm trying to giggle, but I can do the best Mickey Mouse. I remember a few years ago we went to Disney and we had a alarm clock as well. You know, when they ask you to ring the room, wake up call, is it?
Yeah, wake up call.
The phone went ring, ring, ring. So pick the phone. Went. I'm not going to do the voice because I won't do it properly. I'll need to nail it. I'll have to do it in another episode. But they went, "Hey, it's Mickey Mouse," and I was like, he wakes you up.
Did you giggle? Did you like have a little giggle?
Oh, it's so funny.
You go, ha ha.
Yeah. And then you go to Mickey Mouse's house and it says, is like the fridge, and it says, he's got like a shopping list on there, and it goes, buy cheese, buy more cheese, buy even more cheese. Which I thought was hilarious.
Oh man, do you know what? The world without Disney would be a horrible place, wouldn't it? Like Disney,
100%.
Disney is Walt Disney created. It's an absolute wonder. Disney. I love Disney. I remember as a child growing up, and I think I might have said it before about my granddad. I think I might have said about it before, him drawing the Seven Dwarfs.
Oh no, I love the Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah, so that was my granddad. That was his all-time favourite cartoon or Disney film.
Yeah,
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It came out in like the 1960s, didn't it, or something like that, if I remember rightly.
But it's weird though, isn't it? Because like how like, you know, our parents and like their parents like that sort of stuff. Because like my dad he loved the Jungle Book.
Oh, that was probably my favourite Disney film when I was a kid growing up.
Yeah, my favourite one was do you remember the Robin Hood when he was the fox?
Yes. Yeah.
And then I used to love that. And the sheriff in Nottingham used to throw his like coins in, and all the coins would bounce back up, and he'd grab them.
But it was clever like that, and that's what I was going to get at with Walt Disney. It was so clever, just how they drew it, the animations at the time, and
memories as well, though, isn't it? For when you watch it, like, it reminds you of things or a point back in your life, doesn't it? But
yeah, it does. I mean, I remember it reminded me, like when I was a kid, my mum and dad at Christmas time used to allow me and my sisters to get up quite early, and we'd get up quite early and go downstairs, but we wasn't allowed to open presents. But they used to say to us, you can put the TV on or do whatever you want to do. So we'd like put films on and stuff. So we'd always put on like films like Snow White or The Jungle Book or just put on the TV. We was quite fortunate. We had Sky when we was kids. So hence the reason why I mentioned...
I never had as a kid.
Hence the reason why I mentioned Johnny Bravo, because Johnny Bravo was on Cartoon Network. And we used to...
You were a lucky kid then, because I never had Sky. Everyone was watching the wrestling and Johnny Bravo. That's why I don't know Johnny Bravo. Because I had to read a book and drink water.
That's exactly why you wasn't allowed. You had, and I was quite fortunate we had it, and used to get up and do that, and that watching Disney films, like the older Disney films now, reminds me of them times when I was younger. Yeah. It's I hope when my kids are older, like they have them same sort of memories from, like my two loved the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse when they were
gents used to love that
when they were babies. Again, that was another show that was created by Disney that just caught the imagination of kids, and I thought it was amazing. It used to drive me mad, the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Going completely off Disney here then, and flipping it to the complete opposite. What's your favourite horror film?
Oh, my favourite horror film. Because
we're coming up to Halloween, aren't we?
My favourite horror film is probably, I don't know, actually. There's a couple that I like. So I like The Ring. The first Ring I used to think was a bit mad, a bit scary.
Did you come out the telly? Other one?
Yeah, that's the one. And then I also like things like the Conjuring, like some of the newer ones.
Yeah, they're really good, aren't they?
We was talking about this the other night, me and Key, actually. We was watching, I think it was one of the newer Conjuring films on Netflix. And we was like, I shouldn't say this, Alyssa loves a horror film, like proper loves horror films, Alyssa. And she's 13 and nearly 13. And she like says, just, can I watch a horror film with you? And we're like, well, if it starts to get a bit scary, you need to tell us to turn it off. So we let her watch old horror films with us. And we was watching this film the other night, and she laughs. She sits there giggling because she knows it's not real. I think kids are so desensitized these days that they know it's not real. And we was talking about Paranormal Activity. Do you remember when the first Paranormal Activity came out?
Yeah.
The first one. Me and Key tried to watch that about 5 or 6 times when we had to keep stopping it, every time we watched it, there was like weird noises in the house, you know,
never.
and it was really bizarre. And I was like, that is super, super spooky. We used to turn it off, be like, nah, turn it off, just in case we're summoning spirits into the house because of this film. Like it was, but obviously
not.
we watched it in the end. But yeah, but what's yours? What's your all time?
I love those films as well, The Conjuring and all those, Haunting in Connecticut and that type of modern film.
Yeah,
but I'm a massive Freddy fan. Love Freddy Krueger, and I quite like the Hellraisers back in the day. So I like all the classics, really.
I used to not hate it as in I hate it because I didn't like it. Hated it because it give me nightmares. Hellraiser. I remember as a kid watching the Hellraiser, and it gave me nightmares.
That's like I don't know if that's like super scary, but it's just like it's a bit gruesome, and it's kind of like it's a bit weird, isn't it? It's like a proper horror.
Yeah.
I'm a massive Stephen King fan as well.
Yeah.
I like all like Pet Sematary and stuff like that. But love Halloween. I think that's why kids like it, don't they? Because it's exciting.
It's exciting. It's quite scary. It's all that sort of stuff. Like you just said there. Like the older Freddy films, I thought were okay. The newer ones, I think, get a bit silly, a bit carried away. I think the problem is, as I said a minute ago, we're a little bit desensitized now, aren't we? I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think like films have really, really changed over the past few years, and kids are more desensitized because they see a lot more stuff on the YouTubes or things like that, and it's a little bit more it's not as shocking to see. I remember like when The Ring, I thought when the Ring, like the first Saw film, do you remember when the first Saw film came out? And
Amy loves that. Did you know they're doing something for Halloween in London when you go and like reenact the Saw films?
Like, do you want to play a game?
Yeah.
I remember watching me and Keegan. I watched the first one in the cinema with a couple of our friends, and we watched the first Saw film, and the beginning of the first one, when they're locked in the room, aren't they? And he ends up cutting his foot off. The bloke's laying on the floor, dead on, like in the middle of the floor, and all that, and he just gets up at the end and walks out.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And you're like, and we got
the music though, isn't it? It goes doo-noo-noo,
yeah,
doo-noo-noo.
and the only reason I remember that is because we watched it the other day. It was on the TV, but it was I remember watching it the first time thinking, gee, that is bad. Like he cuts his foot off with the hacksaw, and he's bleeding to death, and he like, and then the bloke just gets up, gets and walks out. And I'm like, man, forgot about that.
There's a film come out, I can't called Tusk. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't. No.
It's about, this is like such a weird storyline. Some guy, I think he goes to saved by sea lions or something.
Okay.
So this reporter goes to interview him, and then he's like having a meal with him. He has a sip of his drink, and then he falls asleep because he's drugged him, and he wakes up and his leg's gone, and he's like, "Oh my God, what have you done to my leg?" And the guy goes, "Oh, you had a bit of a poison, so I helped you and I cut your leg off." And he obviously knows he's lying.
Yeah.
And then he ends up turning him into a sea lion, and then like trying to kill him. It is the weirdest film. Yeah, I thought like you watch the trailer and it makes you just feel weird. Like I want to watch it, but I don't really want to watch it because it's a bit weird.
It sounds. Yeah, I don't know. Like that. It sounds a bit mad. I don't. You know, it's crazy because that's the one thing I find with TV now. Like I remember when me and Key were dating, she used to go to me. We used to go to the cinema every other week and watch a film, and it was great. And you go and watch a film, and you go and have a nice time out. You didn't necessarily have to go to cinema, buy the popcorn, and do all that stuff, but you just go and watch a film. But with
Got by a wing now.
with Netflix, we used to buy the Doritos with the cheese, the nacho things with the cheese. That was our thing. But with Netflix and that now, and Disney Plus and Prime and Apple TV, I can't really be bothered to go to the cinema. It has to be a real special film.
Have you ever done the one when it's like surround view or whatever it's called? It's like
the IMAX,
and it goes on the walls and stuff.
I haven't. No, I keep saying I want to do it, and I haven't done it yet.
I watched that Avatar film like that. It's the weird. I don't know if I like it because you're like trying to watch it, and instead of watching on the screen, it's all like on the walls around you and stuff.
It's all going on.
Weird. Especially when it's like Avatar people running around everywhere. Cause like, holy moly, there's a massive blue dude next to me.
I'd have to, but yeah, I really want to. There's a couple. I like going to watch the Marvel films in the cinema, like all the Marvel stuff. Like, that's the only thing that I like to go and watch.
I love the cinema. It's like one of my favorite things because I like sitting in the big chair and watching on the massive screen. But I just go there, even if I'm not feeling like for me, it's like I want a bucket of Coke, I want a wiener with mustard, and some sweet chasers.
If I could give you if I said to you now that I'll give you one wish. And you can be any food you like, and you can have it right now, and I could just click my fingers and it'd appear in front of you. What would it be?
I'm gonna say right this second because I haven't eaten yet. I'll have a Big Mac.
Really? That a Big Mac? I could give you absolutely anything you like, and you can have it right now, and it'll be hot, it'll be nice, tasty, just like it's been cooked, fresh out, and it'll be a Big Mac.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Because why does it have to be like...
I'm not saying it could be special. It could be anything you like. It doesn't have to
be expensive. It doesn't, like... Yeah. I don't think anywhere's ever done the best burger to bap ratio the McDonald's are making the Big Mac. It's the best burger to bun ratio with sauce out there. And I'm really intrigued because have you seen the new Aldi adverts?
I haven't yet. No, I haven't seen it.
I'm not plugging. This is just like we're just talking because like I know we just plug everything, but
it's just a plug in. That's why we've never got. That's why we never get a sponsor.
Should we change the name? Let's call it The Plug. But they've been parking outside places. So, like for an example, they had McDonald's, and they parked those vans with like the TV screens on the side of them.
Yeah,
for the advert. So Aldi have made like a Big Mac, and they've like done some advert like they call it the Big Stack.
Right.
And like the only thing missing is your fries or something or ice cream. And it looks really good. But I said to Amy, I said, "Oh, like find out how much they are if they're microwavable, because I can just have them all day long." What's for breakfast? Big Mac. What's for lunch? Big Mac.
You're right.
They did it to Domino's as well. It's really clever advertising.
Well, I think I mentioned before. Obviously, I worked at Burger King when I was a kid, and we had this conversation. But,
did you work there, or did you just give them away?
Well, there's a question, isn't there? It depends.
You're into Billy Burger for like 20 grand.
But what I was going to say is that until I worked at Burger King, I never knew they did a Big King, a Big King meal. A Big King meal was like their version of a Big Mac. So it was like a similar sauce, not as and I actually used to think it was better than the Big Mac sauce. It was like a mixture of relishes and stuff like that. But they stopped doing it for some reason. I don't know why. But obviously, I think it would be a toss up for me between a Big Mac and a Big King, if you could still get a Big King meal.
They did. What's the big one at Burger King? Is it the Whopper or is that a small one?
The Whopper.
Is it a big Whopper or something?
Double Whopper.
Double Whopper. Is that the biggest one?
I think so. I don't know.
Oh, you meant to be an expert.
They used to do an Angus. They did do an Angus burger.
Angus, that's it. Yeah.
The Angus burger.
I used to work at this place, and we used to. It's a bit childish, but they did like the KFC, I think it was, supercharger chicken burger thing.
Yeah.
It was like the massive chicken burger.
Yeah.
And we thought it'd be really funny to go after work and you have an Angus burger and a KFC supercharger and a pint and see if you could do it all. And then it just became a regular thing then. It's like, yeah, it's double stacking after work. Going home saying, I'm not hungry tonight, love. Been a long day. I'm not really feeling it. Knowing that I had like a massive Angus burger and a supercharger meal and a pint.
Fair play. You just jogged my memory because I thought you was going down a route. Did I ever tell you about the time when I worked at Burger King and I put a chicken nugget in a burger rather than a chicken royale burger? So
when they opened up, it had like a little nugget.
A little chicken nugget in it.
Oh no, that was really, really upsetting. Especially was it a drive-through as well?
So it was it was at Blue Water. It was a busy Saturday, and we used to get like in the kitchen. I think this is why I used to get stopped from putting in the kitchen because I'd mess about, and I wouldn't mess about with people's food as in like play with it, but I would put in a Whopper. I'd put a little burger rather than the Whopper meat. Or like I said, the chicken royale. I'd do a chicken royale, but it'd have a chicken nugget in it. so they'd go to bite, they'd go and bite it, and they'd come back.
You sleep at night,
but they'd always come back. They'd always come back and get a and say there's no. They'd always come back to the counter and say my chicken royale is not a chicken royale, it's a chicken nugget burger.
I need to rescind my Big Mac. Actually, I'm going to go Big Tasty.
Big Tasty. He's changing it. He's just thought about it.
What's your go-to order? Like they're getting like specials. What's your go-to order at McDonald's?
I'm quite a simple guy. I don't ever change anything. I just go. I will always go similar to what you said. I'd have a Big Mac. The reason I have a Big Mac is because I want to order either some chicken nuggets or I want to order some cheese bites.
As well.
So I order a chicken. I order a Big Mac meal with a Coke or a Fanta or whatever it might be, and then I always order some chicken nuggets or cheese bites, depending on if the kids are with me. If the kids are with me, then I order a box of 20 chicken nuggets, because Josh now is at that age where he goes, yeah, I want 20 chicken nuggets, and he can't eat them all. So then I end up eating them.
I did exactly that the other day. Jensen doesn't eat the chips. He doesn't really drink the fizzy drink. He's not into him, but he loves chicken nuggets, and he never eats 20. And I'm like, he said, I'll have 6 chicken nuggets, Dad. I'm like, growing lad, you can have 20 now. Knowing that he's not going to eat them all. And he's like, I'll take care of them.
And I wonder why I'm getting big and fat, because I do things like that. It's but to be totally honest with you, I don't eat a lot of big McDonald's. Like at the minute, the kids have got an obsession with McDonald's because the Monopoly thing's on. So
I don't really get the rules on that, if I'm honest with you.
When the Monopoly thing's on, the kids are like, "Can we go to McDonald's today?" And then we end up going to McDonald's, and they get the Monopoly thing, and they want to get the tear-offs, and they get free burgers. And what they've done this year, McDonald's, McDonald's have got the app now. We're proper plugging McDonald's, and it's near the end of this podcast. We spent 10 minutes talking about McDonald's. But you get the app, and then the app gives you extra chances to win.
Oh, never.
So and Key's going to me, I've got 2 double sausage and egg McMuffins, I've got this, I've got that, and I'm like, well, go and get them.
The breakfast is the bomb, Diggy.
Yeah.
No one can take that away.
I think, yeah. Look, anyone who says that they don't like McDonald's, I challenge them to a duel.
Why did they get rid of Ronald? Did he get sacked?
I don't know.
He was putting nuggets in the burgers, wasn't he?
Putting nuggets in the chicken sandwich meal.
Ronald putting nuggets in the chicken burgers, and he got tinned.
He's putting them in the chicken sandwich. He's putting them in the chicken sandwich, messing with all the kids.
He's drinking the Coke Zero before he's giving it to the customers.
Well, I think on that note, mate, we should wrap it up because we plugged enough episodes this week. What beer you drink? What beer you drinking?
I can't drink, can I? Because I'm on tablets.
You still can't drink? I see you with a pint glass in, and I just thought, oh, he's back on the beer.
No, I'm drinking squash of all things.
Oh, that sucks. I've been drinking the Madre tonight, so
Don't rub it in.
I love the Madre. I thought,
yeah, it's good stuff,
I've had a real mad week of work, and I thought, do you know what? Tonight I'm gonna have a few Madres and chill out.
The froth off a few.
And I ain't got to get up. I ain't got to get up and rush about tomorrow because I'm working from home. So I'm working from home.
I'm so excited for this weekend. I know we're finishing up, but I'm off this weekend. I'm going to watch that KSI boxing fight because they've all been fighting in the press conference. It looks hilarious.
Again, we're going back to your entertainment thing earlier on.
Yeah,
about boxing.
I got football to watch for Jensen. I'm going to have Sunday dinner. It's going to be cool. Nice chilled out one. And a new Call of Duty. There we go.
There you go. It's all there. Well, have a great weekend, mate. It's been a pleasure as always. And thanks very much for listening, guys. Don't forget, email us at seasonedhumour@gmail.com.
Yeah, email us some questions.
Email us some questions because we run out of content ideas.
Anything you want plugged, just let us know.
If you want to plug stuff, and we'll do it for free.
Yeah. Next week on the plug.
Right, thanks, guys. See you later on. Bye-bye for now.